On this week's episode of SHS Today, we look at a new segment, The Story Behind, and we get some insight on anxiety and depression in a school environment. Then, we check back in with Emagine 1 year later. All of this and more on SHS Today. Hello, Celine, and welcome back to another installment of SHS Today. As always, I'm Joe Kennedy.
And I'm Nick Long. Let's get started.
Evening parent-teacher conferences will be taking place at the high school tomorrow, January 25th, from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. Be sure to expand upon your learning experience.
Since the opening in early February 2017, the $10 million build of Emagine Theater has exploded into the scene, bringing customers from all over. We talked with Ryan Sutherland to get a look back at this past year's business success.
It's been almost a full year since the brand new Emagine Theater opened in the vacant spot once taken up by Country Market. It officially opened on March 17, 2017, and has wowed moviegoers and citizens of Saline ever since. Let's get a feel for how this theater has affected students, citizens, and teachers all around Saline.
One of the aspects of new urbanism is trying to use existing infrastructure. So the great thing about the Emagine Theater is that it was able to take the old Country Market building and provide a tenant that brings in the tax base, provides jobs for people around the area, and obviously the entertainment value for a town like Saline.
Well, Emagine, first of all, it's local. I mean, you used to have to drive a little while for a movie theater, but now it's right here in Saline. Different options for food, the comfortable seating, the nice sound systems. Overall atmosphere is really home-like.
So the local economy is getting more revenue, and that's obviously good for the people that live in Saline, good for the jobs, good for the business, and it has a good economic benefit to the community.
It was really wise of the city and township to try to lure in a business like Emagine Theater in.
I love the Emagine Theater. It's my favorite theater I've ever been in. The seats are the things that really set it apart. They're incredible.
Reporting for SHS Today, I'm Ryan Sutherland. Back to you in the studio.
Even though it's only been here for a single year, the theater has done exceptionally well, and people say that it's been a fine addition to the Saline community.
The 8th annual Empty Bowls is taking place in the Saline High School Commons on Thursday, February 8th, starting at 5:30 p.m. and ending at 7:30. Cost is $14 or $45 per family. Grab a quick bite, take home a cool bowl, with all proceeds going to food gatherers of Washtenaw County. Did you know that 20% of teens experience depression while 25% suffer from some form of anxiety before adulthood? With the continued problems still haunting the younger generations, we go to Jake File to learn more about it and how to help.
Anxiety and depression are mental illnesses that affect the vast majority of teens in high school. We went to Jason Pickett to ask him what anxiety and depression are and how they affect you.
Generally, people with anxiety, it's kind of it's a unsubstantiated, kind of constant worry about things. Whereas in depression is probably best characterized as something beyond sadness, it's more longful.
Anxiety and depression are on the rise in teens. Most teens will experience some kind of anxiety or depression during high school.
I definitely see a very big rise in undiagnosed depression and a lot of people that aren't seeking help.
I think one of the biggest causes, frankly, is all the things that are sort of heaped on the kids nowadays, and that wasn't maybe when I was a little younger, in terms of expectations, in terms of everything being year-round. You never want to miss anything, and, so I think that's one of the biggest things, because, if you've always gotten A's and you get a B, like, how do you embrace that? It's just a different world, and with everything that's hitting adolescents right now, not only just academically, but socially.
What's most important, the school offers many methods of support for those struggling with these illnesses.
So I'm a part of 2 mental health committees, ESAB, which stands for Executive Student Advisory Board, which covers a lot of mental health disorders, along with the Wellness Committee at Saline that talks with the administration along with some students about the wellness of our community, whether that's physical or mental fitness. and taking the next steps for students to be self-advocates for themselves and for teachers to be advocates for their students.
So someone who has anxiety or depression, they might either work through it kind of on their own, they might experience just a gradual loss of the symptoms, and that would be kind of a best case scenario if a person doesn't get treated. On the other hand, with either of those disorders or both, there's always a risk that it could dramatically interfere and actually threaten the person's life.
Time magazine reported roughly 6.3 million teens have had an anxiety disorder. If you need help, Mr. Pickett's door is always open, along with the counselors. This has been Jake File. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Jake, for the important information. If you are having any problems with anxiety or depression, just know that there are resources available in the counseling office. You are not alone. Now on to the new segment, The Story Behind. Our good friends Linus tell us about mysteries in the school and hopefully finding a cause. All right. Okay.
I just wanted to wash my hands, right, and like get the soap on my hands. I approached the sink, but it looked like it melted, like it caught on fire or something, man.
Right here we were with the sink that was burned about 12 years ago. When speaking to the teacher I spoke to, smoke flew out the hallway. Students called out saying fire. They ran to the bathroom with a huge beaker of water to pour out the fire because the sink itself couldn't put out the fire.
My name is Gordon Boucher. I'm the lead custodian here at the high school. I had gotten a call. We ran up there with an extinguisher and put it out. Basically, somebody went into the bathroom, called the office, and we went and never set the fire alarm off.
So, after some investigation, you really begin to wonder why someone would commit a crime like that.
They had clothes, and they had set them on top of the sink, and they lit them on fire. It melted the top of the sink, and there's an electronic eye or an eye that runs the water, and it melted that.
The vandalism person committed the crime, did it for a certain reason. He wanted to get out of school, and instead of faking a cold, he decided that he was gonna fake the fire alarm by setting a fire in the bathroom and putting it out with the sink. To this day, I don't know who did that crime. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they couldn't have faked a cold or just tell their parents, hey, I don't want to come in today, but this has been the story behind.
It is unclear about when the sinks will be replaced. We have 3 sinks and plenty of other bathrooms.
Well, that's all the time we have this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Joe Kennedy.
And I'm Nick Long. Next week, we'll take a look at Poetry Out Loud, blended classes, and a choir update.
Have a great week, Hornets.
Hornets.